What's up, ladies? Happy Monday. I know it is not Wellness Wednesday, but it is Monday. And it is the day that I usually use to prep my food for the week because I feel like if I start prepping on Sunday, it's just like it eats a little bit of the weekend. So I don't like that. I don't know if some of you are out there watching. I see somebody watching. Hi, say hi to me to make sure that I know who is watching. Thank you. We're going to be cooking today, and I know it's my first cooking video. I got to share a story with you girls. I'm a little scared about making cooking videos just because I'm not the best with measurements, or I'm very conscious about myself when it comes to how you cut things and the right and proper things to cut different veggies. And I think it has to do with family issues, maybe some baggage. Like I remember my mom, sorry mom if you're listening to this, but it's true. When we were cooking together, it was always like, Mom, how can I help you, right? Like I want to cook with you. She was always like, yeah, wash the dishes. Why don't you just like pick up this? Why don't you put the table together, wash this? But it was never the actual cooking. And I guess she always preferred to do it first because it's like she said, like I'll do it first, I'll do it faster, and I'll do it better. And nothing wrong with that, Mom. You cook extremely well. But I mean, I grew up a little insecure about my cooking. And now my husband, it's kind of like my mom. Like he's very intense about the way to cook things, and he's like, let me cut it for you. And I'm like, okay, whatever, if you want to cut it. I like the mixing, I like the putting things together, the creativity of coming up with recipes. But this is just to show you how he cooks the onions. These are not my onions, so he's very meticulous about it, so I appreciate that. So again, ladies, no judgment, but this is what we're gonna do. We're going to be making but I guess one of my favorite recipes, because it is a cauliflower rice. The reason why I like this recipe is because it is gluten-free, dairy-free, and extremely tasteful. What are some of the ingredients that we're going to be using? We have organic cauliflower, Trader Joe's, my fave store. We have some organic carrots. I particularly like the ones that have different colors just because it looks different in the plate. It looks and it also tastes different. Every carrot, depending on the colors, they have different tastes. Some of them are sweeter than others, but I like the mix. Then we're gonna have so the cauliflower will be for the cauliflower rice. Then we're gonna have some carrots, broccoli, yes, frozen. Hi Echo, welcome. We're cooking today. I know, scary, but it can be done. Okay, so and then for the second plate, we're gonna have some organic broccoli. And sometimes it's hard if you are super busy and sometimes you eat outside. Sometimes it's hard to buy everything so natural because then it goes bad and you feel bad about throwing everything out. It has happened to me. So we realized that buying frozen food, if it's organic, it's okay. It's not a bad choice. So this is the broccoli floret that we're gonna be using for the carrots. Then I'm going to be making a watercress salad. This is the organic watercress. It's delicious. Like it almost comes like with the roots here. You see how fresh it is. So we're going to be making a watercress salad. We also have organic garlic. So like I said, I'm not good at cutting stuff. Garlic is the worst thing. If you want to buy the one that is already peeled and cut it yourself, that's great. My husband does that. I'm not good at that. So I just buy this one. It's organic, it's diced, and I just keep it in the fridge. Obviously, we want to use some onions for the rice, and then my probiotic. So if you have heard me talk before, it is important to have probiotic foods in our meals because it essentially adds some bacteria that our stomach needs to help digest the food that we eat. So in this case, this is an organic brown miso. And it's made from actually soybeans and organic brown rice. So again, it's just fermented soybeans and fermented organic brown rice. And it makes really for a good and tasty miso sauce, which is what we're going to be cooking our carrots and our broccoli. And it is gluten-free, so the whole meal is gluten-free and dairy-free, and it's going to be delicious. Hi, Elizabeth. Welcome. I hope you like seeing somebody cook and not seeing somebody cook, but really enjoy the recipes that we're going to be making. Again, clean, gluten-free, dairy-free, and it's just great for a dinner, right? And to be honest with you, ladies, I'm like, okay, so I felt inspired to do this video today. I said Monday, this is the perfect time for me to do it. Then I saw Carrie's video on the sweet potatoes, which I thought it was great. So thank you for sharing. Then I got inspired, and then I said, let me see what I have in the fridge. Honestly, I didn't plan it at all. I said, hey, let me just open the fridge and see what I can put together. So this is gonna be a little bit of an experiment, but then again, it is what I had in the fridge, and it is what's happening today. So let's do it. Good evening. Yes, love to see different types of recipes. Awesome. All right, Elizabeth. So let's get started. And also I have some leeks as well that we're gonna be using in the carrots and broccoli florets. So we're gonna start making the rice because I feel like a lot of people. Oops, sorry. I think the camera moved. I'm gonna move this down here. Oh, maybe not. Maybe here. So that you can see what I'm actually doing with the cauliflower. So a lot of people are scared of the cauliflower rice because they think that it's too complicated or too complex. And honestly, ladies, it is the easiest thing to do. Okay, so we're gonna cut it here. Obviously, it's very important to wash it and to clean as much as we can. But honestly, I was watching a video of one of my mentors, which is Andrea Nakayama. She's from Replenish PDF, and she's a functional nutritionist. And one of the things that she was saying is that we shouldn't be afraid of dirt. So, I mean, if this is an organic cauliflower, we're gonna watch it, but we're not gonna die. In fact, for the microbacteria that we need in our digestive system, if it has some dirt, it's totally fine. Now, don't say that to my husband because again, he freaks out with how everything has to be super clean. And I'm there, I'm clean too, but hey, a little bit of dirt is not gonna kill anybody. So we're gonna be cutting the cauliflower. I'm gonna watch it a little bit first. And sorry girls, if you wanna fast forward, that's totally fine. But I feel like I wanna give you the whole experience of how to actually make one. Which you're gonna see is not hard at all. So what we're trying to do now, it's cut the cauliflower in florets, so remove the parts that we're not gonna be eating. Right, so like the leaves, for instance, we're gonna remove that. These are a little bit more tough to eat or to digest. So I'm actually not gonna make it all. I'm just gonna do parts of it so that you can get the gist of what is it that I'm trying to do and how is it actually going to look. A lot of people do it differently. What I like to do is cut it as much as I can. So I'm sorry, but you're not seeing anything. But I'm really just like literally just cutting the cauliflower. There is really not science to this. And again, I'm not the best at cutting anything. But I had to learn because I like to cook and I like to eat at home. So, okay, so this is, I will say, kind of like a good size for the cauliflower florets. And then what I do is just put it in, I have this, it's a NutriBullet. Is it a NutriBullet? Yes, it is a NutriBullet. So it's kind of like a blender, but it's more powerful. So I'm just gonna throw here the florets for the cauliflower as much as I can. If you have, what do you call it? I know the name in Spanish. Licuadora. A ver, ladies, help me. Is it a a blender? Thank you. Yes. So if you have a blender, that works as well. So what I'm gonna do is I added the broccoli florets there. Then I'm gonna add also some garlic, right? So I have my spoon here. I love garlic, so I put lots of it. Some of you who can't eat garlic, avoid it. And then also the onions that my husband cut for me because I hate cutting onions. Just put everything in there because again, I really, really like the taste of it. And then I'm gonna bring, give me 1 second, so I'm gonna bring olive oil. And that's pretty much all we need. So give me 1 second, let me just bring the olive oil. All right, so this is the olive oil right here. extra virgin from Trader Joe's. And honestly, I don't know. I mean, I like to put, I would say it's 3/4 of a cup. So honestly, I will post the recipe later, but I like to see more or less that everything is kind of wet by the olive oil. But again, I don't usually cook with recipes, with the actual quantities. But you guys, I will post it for you. And then I have here, I'm gonna add a little bit of water just so that it doesn't get stuck. So just a little bit. Oops. So I'm gonna blend this and I'll be right back so that you guys can see what it looks like. Blending. Just gonna add a little bit more of the cauliflower. Hi, Brianna, I'm making cauliflower rice. As you guys can hear me. Ah! I'm here. Awesome, okay. I'm gonna remove the headsets. So this is how it's looking, ladies. I don't know if you can see it from there. I'm gonna add a little bit more of olive oil and blend it again. All right, ladies, if you're still there, bear with me, but this is how it looks like. You see, it has some consistency. I put a little bit of maybe too much water into it. So the other ones, I'm gonna make it without so much water. And then what I do, just look at the consistency. It just looks like it is more of a, this time it is more of a puree, but it still has some consistency similar to rice. So what I would do is I just turn on the heat on my pan and I'm just gonna put it there and cook it. So while that's cooking, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about the following recipe. And that is using our carrots, also using our broccoli florets, and the miso, right? So the first thing that we need to do, and I don't know if you guys like to peel your carrots, but I do. I just feel that once we peel our veggies, we remove some of the layers of the skin, and so this skin sometimes is harder to digest. So that's why I literally like to peel most of my veggies and try to avoid eating the skin. So we're gonna peel the carrots. Thank you, ladies, for being patient with me, both of you that are watching. This is a peeler that you can buy anywhere. It's really pretty simple. So I'm gonna peel my carrots here. And then what I'm gonna do is just cut them in circles. So it's not in juliana, which is usually the lines, but this is gonna be just circles. And I love the colors. I mean, you can't see, I'm gonna move it here so that you can actually see. Can you see it? No. Well, I'll show it to you later, but you can actually see the colors of the carrots that are beautiful. Whoopa. I'm back. All right. So it's been okay. So I'm still cutting the carrots here. The cauliflower rice is actually cooking right now as we speak on the pan. So once you have your carrots, this recipe again is just very, very simple. But again, it's super savory and healthy. So once I have the carrots all cut, I'm gonna put them in a pan with some more garlic, and we're gonna add the broccoli florets as well. So one of the things that I wanted to mention, whenever cooking with miso, it is important that it is the last thing that we add to our recipe, just because miso is something that should never be too heated. It is something that should be added just when we're almost done cooking our recipe. And the other thing is, when it comes to olive oil, right? So I'm not going to be cooking the carrots with olive oil. I'm going to be cooking them with buffalo ghee. Again, you can find it in Trader Joe's. And the reason why I like buffalo ghee, it's a clarified butter. It removes some of the things that are harder to digest when it comes to digesting actual milk or actual lactose. And so that's the reason why I like the ghee. It is a clarified butter. And also it has a higher heating temperature. So olive oil heats really fast, it can be cancerogenious. The ghee doesn't heat as fast, it has a higher boiling or heating temperature, and so it is better for us to cook with ghee. So I'm gonna add a spoon or so into the pan that we're gonna add the carrots and the broccoli. So we're gonna add the carrots. I already put the ghee. Hi Sophia, I guess you're watching somebody else just joined. Hi, we're making cauliflower rice, which at the moment it looks like a puree, but it's still good. And then some carrots and broccoli with miso. Also, don't forget the garlic. here how that's sizzling. So we're adding the carrots, and we're also gonna add the broccoli, which again is frozen, but it's organic. And right now I'm just making a recipe just for me, so it's gonna be less than I usually make. And I'll show you how it looks in just a little bit. Some of my favorite spices, so I use Himalayan pink salt, and I use some black pepper, which is what we're going to be adding into both the actual broccoli and the carrots, and also the cauliflower rice. And I'm not going to keep you guys longer, but I do want to mention that some of the things that I picked here, right? So, oh, we forgot the leeks, so we got to add our leeks as well to the actual carrot and broccoli meat with miso. Some of the things that I picked here have different type of flavors, so if you're a person that needs to add some pungent into your life, then leeks are usually a great way to do that. It has a pungent taste, and it has many anti-inflammatory properties as well. So for me, leeks is one of the things that I like to add to most of my foods. So I'm just finishing cutting it here. I washed it first, obviously, and then we're gonna add it into a recipe as well. So while that cooks in there, I wanted to mention how are we actually going to make the miso sauce. And so what I would do is grab the miso sauce that I like to make is a little on the sweet side. So I have some raw honey here, which we bought when we were in the North New York. It's pumpkin and goldenrod honey. So I'm going to add some honey into a plate. And you can add, if you have raw honey, that works as well. I have raw honey as well, but I want to use this one because it is more liquid, and I didn't want to have to actually melt the raw honey for this recipe. And I also kind of want to finish it too. So we add maybe a spoon or two of honey to make it sweet. And then I'll show you how the brown miso looks. It's like a paste that you use. What type of carrots? So the carrots that I have here are organic carrots of many colors. So you have orange carrots, purple carrots, white carrots. You can buy them in Trader Joe's, which is usually where I go to get my my food or my veggies. And again, it is important, if you can, to buy organic. Oh, Elizabeth, thank you for watching. You've been in sport. It hasn't been easy here, but you've been watching this whole time. So, okay, I'm mixing my miso sauce. I'm gonna add a little bit of olive oil as well, and a little bit of water. You can add some stock if you guys like, but I like to just add a little bit of water just to make it a little bit more consistent, just more I guess liquid, in a liquid state. So you guys can see here how I'm actually mixing the miso with the honey, the water, and the olive oil. And you can add more or less depending on how you want the sauce to be, if you want it to be more concentrated or not. And also don't forget to add salt. Sometimes I do forget. But again, the good thing about this recipe is that we're adding the probiotics in the miso, and it's just gonna taste so good once everything comes together. Delicious. So I love the mix of like the honey with the miso. I wish you guys can taste it, but let me see if you can see it. This is how the sauce looks. Wow. And again, this is just for me, so you can definitely make it for more people. And again, I'm not gonna add it until I know the veggies are almost ready, just because you don't want to warm up the miso, because then you will essentially kill the properties. So let me get my cuchara de palo. And it seems like they're almost about to be finished with the cooking. So the other thing that I wanted to do today was a watercress salad. The reason why I like watercress is because it is hard to get pungent and salty flavors in regular food. Hey, you see it. Hey, Nati. Thank you for joining. So I'm about to make watercress salad. I usually buy it in Trader Joe's. It's organic, and it's like, I'm gonna take it out for you guys to see it. So you can almost see the plant here. So I'm gonna wash it quickly. And again, I was saying before, you can't be afraid of dirt. You just can't. It's part of, sometimes your stomach needs a little dirt. So don't worry if you see a little bit of soil in your salads. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is cut this part with the roots, and then just pretty much cut it all, trying to remove the stems, because it is, like I said, I mentioned before, they're harder to digest, but it's not a big deal if you get some stems in there. So I just cut it all. And honestly, I really like my salads very plain. So what I try to do is pick a green that has a lot of flavor, in this case the watercress, and then just create an awesome dressing, and that should be it. That should be enough for me. Just a good green that has a little taste, and then a good dressing. And the dressing, it depends on what you like. I'm gonna show you how to make one that I really love, and a lot of guests like it as well. So this is our watercress salad. Very simple, plain vanilla, just watercress. And the reason why I pick watercress or arugula is because they have a different taste. And as you know, we're supposed to essentially just taste different tastes, right? It's not only sugary and salty. We want to have pungent, we want to have sour. And the watercress is a little bit pungent and sour. So I'm going to make the recipe for the honey, the dressing. Okay, cool, Steph. Please post this recipe later so that we can copy, paste, and save. Okay, I will post both recipes once I get a chance. But thank you for watching. This is the first time, so we'll see how it goes. Let me make the recipe for the dressing, which is to die for. This is what we need. We need some kind of Dijon mustard. We need raw honey. And we need raw honey, actually honey. So I'm gonna just use this one that I have here. And again, I really enjoy the sweet and the salty combinations. I feel like once I have a meal like that, then I don't crave anything once I'm mixing most of the different flavors. So we're gonna add honey here. I'm using most of the spoons, so it's I'm almost running out of honey. So let me just put this in here. I'm just gonna open it. Oh, this is the raw honey, guys, that I buy as well. For some of you who are looking to reduce or control your sugar levels, maybe it's not a good idea to use honey. Try to use other type of sweeteners such as stevia would be a good idea, but I like the raw honey. Look at how it looks. It's amazing. It's so delicious. So whenever I'm craving something sweet, I just get a spoon of this, and seriously, girls, I'm telling you, you really don't need anything else. So I'm just gonna add small spoon of the raw honey into a bowl here. Then I'm gonna add some of the Dijon mustard. Could use another spoon, as my husband tells me, to stay organized in the kitchen. So actually less than that. I'm just gonna use like a little bit of honey Dijon, because as you know, it can be very strong. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of olive oil. Some salt. I like to add it into the dressing so that when I mix everything, and usually, girls, what I do is I put this, once I mix it, in the microwave for 30 seconds, just to kind of like get the raw honey to melt a little bit. Actually less than that. Here, so just really 10 seconds. And then you can see, I also add a little bit more of water. And if you have some kind of, oh, and we forgot the most important ingredient, which is lemons. So you can add 1 lemon as well. So I'm gonna repeat the ingredients. It's going to be a spoon of raw honey, half of a spoon or a quarter of a spoon of mustard, Dijon mustard, any mustard that you have at home, half of a lemon, depending on the quantity, and then some olive oil. You mix it all together. I mean, I will be honest with you, ladies, if it didn't taste good, but you can see how it looks. Or not. I'm gonna put the camera. And then what I'm gonna do is just add it to my salad here. And that's it. Then you have your salad ready, super tasty, with very few ingredients. The veggies must be ready, so I'm just gonna add the miso. And I'm gonna check on the cauliflower rice. I wish you could smell. It smells really good, ladies. So with the miso, again, I just added it. You don't want it to burn. So I'm just gonna leave it here to warm up a little bit. This is how it looks for you that still watching. It's just so delicious with the miso and then the leeks and the broccoli and the sweetness of the carrots. Just really good. I'm gonna put it back. And then the cauliflower rice is still going. I think it still needs to cook a little bit more. So I'm just going to finish it here and then post a picture of how everything looks after. If you have any questions, let me know. I hope this was helpful. Again, we make 3 quick recipes. So the cauliflower rice, the watercress salad, and also the broccoli, miso, and leek. The broccoli, carrots, leek, veggies in a miso sauce. Yum! I know it's really good. So I'm gonna finish up here, ladies. Thank you for watching. You've been real troopers, and I'm gonna post the recipe so that you can make it at home as well. Bye. See you soon. Any questions though? Any questions so far? No? Okay. Well, thank you. Bye bye.